excuse me. We have the worst hospital waiting lists in Europe. Over 1.1 million people on some form of waiting list for healthcare, incredibly more than 1 in 5 of the population. Today we have 563 people on trolleys across the country in hospitals, with a record being shamefully broken at University Hospital Limerick, with 130 people waiting for admission on Monday morning. We have 2.9 hospital beds per 1,000 people in this country, little more than half the EU average of 5.3 beds per 1,000 people. And we have an unprecedentedly large budget surplus. And yet, 2 weeks ago now, the government proposed a budget for a worse healthcare service. I mean, that's the blunt, shocking reality, that at a time of plenty, the government proposes a budget to have longer waiting lists, more people on trolleys, not delivering the beds that were previously promised, and a recruitment freeze that will have devastating effects. And that's, I mean, you can quote a lot of different people to back that up, but obviously most significantly is what the CEO of the HSE has been saying correctly, that, quote, the simple reality is that the funding allocated to the health system is not adequate, talking about built-in deficits, which is the first time in my memory of service plans that will be the case. Quite incredible, and with real-life impacts on ordinary people. To quote Dr. Rachel McNamara, chair of the IMO NCHD committee, this recruitment freeze flies in the face of safe staffing levels. It will add to the chaos in a system which already does not have enough doctors to deliver safe patient care, where many teams across the country are not fully staffed, and where NCHDs are still working illegal and unsafe hours. It points very directly away from Sláintecare and supposedly driving towards Sláintecare, and confirms for me that Sláintecare and everyone signing up for Sláintecare is just a convenient kind of political trick for everyone to say, oh, we've all agreed on what we're doing, when the reality of the 2 or even 3-tier health service in this country continues and is actually deepened by the policies by the government. So everyone gets to say, we support this model over here that looks a little bit like a national health service, but then continues in a very opposite direction. The question is why? Like, why did the government decide to do this? And the kind of superficial reason presented is that basically Paschal Donohoe, Minister for Finance, wants to keep the Department of Health and the Minister on quote-unquote a tight leash. The idea that you don't have control over the budget, we're not going to give you enough money, so you have to come back asking for more at a short notice, and we'll only give you a little bit more when you need it, so you don't run away with yourself. Obviously, like, even if that was true, right, and I don't think that's a very deep analysis of what's happening here, but that would be quite an incredible thing for the government to do, or for the Minister for Finance to do, to punish patients in this country, to punish our health service in this country, to propose and pass a budget which will mean a worse health service in order to rein in a profligate minister. Obviously, if the rest of the government doesn't have confidence in the Minister for Health, well, they should act to remove the Minister for Health rather than destroying our health service and undermining our health service. I think the deeper reason is that it does suit the mainstream narrative of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael to go along with the idea that the health service is some sort of kind of black hole. It's like Every year in every budget we hear that there's more money for health than ever before. This is the largest budget for health. I mean, of course it's the largest budget for health. We have such a thing at the moment, and particularly in medical, of inflation, and we have population growth. So yes, in order to stand still, the health budget needs to get bigger. But like, the cheapest way to deliver high quality healthcare is public one-tier health service. That is the cheapest way, the best quality, best value for money way to do it. And it is the government's undermining of a one-tier health service and a quality one-tier health service, quality public health service, that is actually creating inefficiencies. If you get rid of direct employment, then you have to pay more for agency staff. If you outsource all of your catering and your cleaning and everything else, you're going to pay more than doing it directly and doing it in-house. Similarly, in terms of if we don't actually develop the capacity within the hospital, and then we're exporting people and continuing to promote a private health service through the National Treatment Purchase Fund. At the time that our health service is really creaking and is now going to get worse as a result of political decisions, the private hospital sector in this country are making big profits. Last year, Larry Goodman's Blackrock Clinic reported a doubling of profits to 14.5 million on revenues of almost 160 million euros. That's a fundamental cause of the crisis that we have in health in this country, is the fact that there's people who make profit from it, and the answer is a national health service.